I don't know what you're
Hey,
gonna.
good morning. I have Sue here, Sue Park. She's explaining to me that her name is Sue Sa Park because Sa was her maiden name. Because I've always wondered that too. And I've seen you share on some hot seats and in different groups, Sue, and heard your heart. I know you were a children's pastor for how many years?
About 27 years.
Wow. 27 years, guys. And you have some really beautiful children. How many do you have?
I have 4 girls.
Four girls. Yes. I see your pictures posted and wow, what a family.
25, 22, one to be turning 21 in 2 months, and I have a 16-year-old.
Wow.
So I'm going through a major transition at time. My This is like the first time where we have 4 girls in 4 different states.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like, oh.
So I have four adult kids and a baby. I have 27. My daughter's getting married in January, 25 and 24-year-old sons, and a 21-year-old daughter, and then a 2-year-old.
Oh, extra blessing.
Transition. I could use some expertise from you, I think.
Oh,
In all the years you've worked with children, I think I need some freshening up.
Sure.
Yes, how to deal with these things. So, Sue, you represent family, you represent, impacting families, and now you're doing a challenge on clean living and I want to hear more about this. What brought you? Has this been always a lifestyle?
No, actually, no. What happened was, as my husband, we were working really hard and, just serving God. We've always been involved in the church, and especially with me as a children and family ministry pastor, I was overseeing 1,000 kids, overseeing 10 different departments, raising 4 kids. So we were like always just living our life to the fullest. My husband, we got married because we had a common goal. We
Wow.
fell in love with each other because we saw each other's heart for God.
Wow.
So, but life happens. And we were also very involved in mission work. At one point, we were actually getting prepared to go to Cambodia as a long-term missionaries.
Wow.
But, it's a long story, but God rerouted us, and God said, for now, your mission field is like 414, ages 4 to 14. Everybody talks about 1040 window, but when you talk about 414, that's ages from 4 to 14. So when you present the gospel to kids at that age, like literally 75% plus accept Christ.
Wow.
And then when you present the gospel to ages 13 to 18, 19 teenagers, do you know that percentage drops down to only 2%?
Oh, wow.
And then adult age goes back up to 6%. This is not made up by me, but it's actually by Barna Research.
Wow.
So as we were busy serving the Lord, my mother-in-law got diagnosed with cancer. So it totally changed our life around, and we had her at our home. So as I was serving many people, raising kids, we also had to take care of my mother-in-law dying with cancer. She's with Jesus now.
Wow.
And then literally like about a year after my mother-in-law went to be home with Jesus, my father-in-law had multiple strokes.
Oh,
So
no.
he ended up in a vegetative state, trach, feeding tube, diapers. So he was in vegetative state for about 3.5 years.
Oh, no.
And he's a U.S. citizen, but it happened when he went to go visit South Korea, his own land. And it took a miracle for us to bring him back home.
Wow.
And we had him in the hospital and tried to see if we could have him in the nursery. But as we went and visited like daily, they were not taking good care of him. And it just really broke my husband's heart. And my husband really wanted to have him at our home. And I'm like, oh, we got kids and we're both of us are working. How are we gonna do it? And so many of our church pastors and leaders and friends discouraged us from doing that because they knew it's going to be so hard on us.
Mhm.
But my husband was like, what am I going to do? Right. And I love my father-in-law and I wanted to honor him, and I would do it because I love my husband and the whole family. So I agreed to it, except the doctors recommended that we have live-in male nurse home because he's a big guy and we have to flip him over and change diapers, feeding tube. And it's too hard for the female nurse. But I said, there's no way I'm going to have a live-in male nurse at home with 4 girls at home.
Yeah.
So we actually had a home nurse visit here and there during the day, but we actually took care of him, mainly my husband took care
Wow.
of him, changing diapers, feeding to washing while he was working full time. Um,
Wow.
it was just really, really hard. And we were not at a place where I was able to even step down from my ministry either. So to make the long story short, it really took a major impact, not just on me and my husband's health, but also, my oldest one she was going through adolescent years,
Yeah.
Um, so Jesus took him home, and then my husband, like, God started doing things where um we ended up moving to Texas from California because he actually works for Toyota's headquarters, and headquarters moved here. So when we came here to pray and see if God was calling us here, we actually looked for like elderly homes because with that we had to bring him here. But Jesus took him home.
Wow.
And when we actually moved here, we were at a place like, wow, I stepped down from my ministry because I knew God was about to do something new. And
Wow.
I just felt like God was not calling me back to pastoral ministry in the church where I was serving in big, mega Korean American churches before. And I always felt kind of like bad because, God, there's so many people, harvest is plentiful. And because I'm so busy serving in the church, I don't even have time to reach out to my neighbors. Like,
Wow.
my neighbors knew me as Busy Sue. Sue is so busy working for church. And that was not my heart because I grew up in a very anti-Christian family and I got radically saved. So my heart was to really shine God's light, share the gospel, but more than anything, demonstrating God's love so that people will be drawn to Christ, right?
Wow.
So when I moved here, I prayed about it. I knew God was about to do something new. And as I was praying, God just got me connected with I've been doing, on top of everything, I was doing parenting seminars since 2006 over different churches. I partner with a nonprofit organization. So I traveled around a lot to different churches to give parenting seminar. I said, Lord, all I know is just children and family and teens. And that's what I've been doing all this time. But if you want me to do something new, I'm open. But I
Wow.
cannot see like, how can I waste everything that you have taught me over 30 years, right? And long and behold, I got together with another minister friend of mine who moved to Texas. And when I got together with her just to catch up, she moved there 4 years before I did. And she shared with me about how she got diagnosed with breast cancer when she was 40. And her husband was in coma for a month because of heart failure at age 40.
What?
And she was sharing all this testimony,
Whoa.
and she was doing this health and wellness coaching with Beachbody, which is my like affiliated business. But I just knew God was telling me, Sue, it's time for you to take care of yourself. You gotta serve out of your well-being. And
Wow.
it is in my will for you and all of my children to be healthy, not only spiritually, but physically, emotionally, mentally. So God just I've been always teaching and preaching the word and the truth. But God has really brought me to a point where I am attending one of the healthiest and large church in the country, Gateway Church, and where we are so big on inner healing and freedom. So when I joined 414 last year with Pedro, when he was talking about healed heart and a renewed mind. God had already prepared me and trained me somewhat where I was very into freedom ministry, where I was serving in the freedom ministry at our church. And so I just knew God wanted us to be whole and prosper in
Mhm.
all areas of our life because God created us as a multidimensional being. So when my friend was sharing, I just knew God was telling me it's time for you to take control
Wow.
of your health. Because by that time, I was taking blood pressure medication and started feeling all these menopausal symptoms.
What?
So I was like, oh, right. I guess because usually I'm very energetic and
Yeah.
cheerful. So people would ask me, where do you get all that energy? And I'd be like, who, where do you think? Holy Spirit. And I was saying that. But when I hit like 49, I was like, why do I feel bad? And why do I feel like somebody just sucked all the energy out of
Mhm.
me? And like,
Wow.
tell
Yeah.
my family, I feel like I'm mad at somebody, but I have no reason to be mad at anybody. And I was like, I think this is what menopausal symptoms are like, right? So I was like, ah. And so I signed up with my friend because it came with 1 year access to all the workout programs and some superfood shake. And she says 30-day money back guarantee. I'm like, okay, let me just try it. And I did it. She didn't even try to convince me or try to sell me anything. She was just sharing her story, but it was God who just literally convicted me. So when I started my workout health journey 5 years ago, I have never really worked out. I was never into any sports. I remember the last time I worked out was maybe like a 1 or 2 weeks, couple of days when I was back in UCLA as a freshman. You go to gym and you ride that little cute bicycle. And I never even kept it up. Maybe probably like first week or two the most, right? And that was it. So I did not know anything about working out or exercising and health and wellness. And I'm probably the most pickiest eater I have ever been. So just I did not know how to take care of myself. But I started this journey 5 years ago. And like literally first month, my whole body was aching to the point I couldn't even sleep because my body was going through a shock.
Detoxin.
Yeah. And then second month into it, my menopausal symptoms just kind of dropped out of nowhere. I was feeling all my energy throughout the whole month. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. And the superfood that I took, the shake, which is really, I was like, oh, this is really good. And then I found that it had probiotics, prebiotic, digestive enzyme, adaptogen. I'm like, you name it, it's got good stuff. But more than anything, it helped me so much.
Wow.
So my friend, I signed up and I was just being really consistent with me and my self care because I did not want my daughters to go through what we went through.
Mm.
um if I could do anything to keep myself
Yeah.
healthy and well when I get older, I did not want my daughters to be
Yeah.
afraid while they're having their own family raising kids. So I had, apart from God's calling for me to get your health right, but also my another reason was I didn't want my children to go through what I went through because I always told my children, my ceiling will be your floor. You know,
Yeah.
you're gonna have such a better life than me, and you're gonna make greater impact in kingdom of God.
Yeah.
And so that kept me going. But like literally within first 3 months, I dropped I mean, I didn't have a lot to lose, probably no more than 13, maximum 15 pounds, but it was mainly inflammation. Mainly
Mm.
inflammation. So I dropped my weight and went back to my before baby days, like literally back to my college days. And I wasn't even trying to lose weight. I was just focusing on my daily habit of eating clean and just exercise. But I realized no matter how hard you work out, if you don't get your nutrition right, you're still having a lot of health issues, right? And what happened was, I am a talker, as you could tell, Stacy.
That's
And
like
if
me.
I like something, I would tell the whole world about it. I'm
Yeah,
a
me too.
narcissist by nature.
Mhm.
And people may think I work for Instant Pot and Air Fryer because if I like something, I tell everybody about it. And I like the Beachbody products. So I just signed up for free discount coach account because I get 25% off.
Yeah, of course.
And I just, every time I go to small group, meet my friends, people will talk about their weight issues or their health issues, cholesterol, thyroid, liver disease, or whatever, right? I say, hey, I tried this. This is really good. It really helped me. Why don't you just try it? And it's not even really expensive. 30-day money back guarantee, just try it. So without me trying to be even a coach, I just started helping my friends. And my friend who's my coach is like, Sue, you should really coach. I'm like, no, girl, I don't have time for that because I'm focusing on children and family ministry. I don't have time for that. And I have not heard God telling me that. I'm just taking care of myself. And I just help my friends on the side. Long and behold, I kept on, like, my coach friend would keep on promoting me. And even to this day, if you look at my personal Facebook profile, I never put myself out there as a health and wellness coach. This is things that I've done behind the scene all these years.
Wow.
But I kept on getting promoted. Don't recognize me. You are embarrassing me. And then, like, I got to a certain level. I'm like, how did I become this level? What does this mean? What does the diamond coach mean? Like, I did not know. But then last year, beginning of the year, January, God said, Sue, do you not see the platform I have given you? And this was before I met Pedro.
Wow.
Do you not see the platform I have given you? Yes. You are working with parents and teens and kids where you are able to coach and empower and give them biblical counseling, life coaching. But those are the people who come to you through referrals, because I never advertise my stuff. These are all personal referrals, and they recognize they need help and they come to you. But when it comes to health and wellness, it opens the wide door for you to minister to people and shine God's light.
Yes.
And to love on people, because you could mention about health and everybody, it's a common it's a universal thing. Doesn't matter whether you're Christian, Hindu, black or white, Hispanic, Asian, it doesn't matter. And then I realized after I moved here, I said, God, out of all the places in the world, we are ready to go out to third world country. Why are we here in Dallas, Texas, where the Bible
everybody's in Dallas, Texas, it seems.
Right? And then I realized within the first month, this is the mission field that God has given us at this season of our life, because so many big companies are moving here. So many from different parts of the world are moving here. And I realized, and then the neighborhood we're living in, there's quite a bit of Hindus here, a lot of IT people, contractors working for big American companies. And I was like, oh my gosh, look at all these people. So every time I'm walking around or driving around back and forth, I'm praying over my neighborhood, my neighbors. And I try to meet, every time I meet somebody on the street, I come back home, write their names down so I won't forget their long names. And I've been just really praying that, Lord, this is your land. And Frisco actually means blessed land. And I said, Lord, this just really opened the door. But then also after I got connected with Pedro, and just God just really started opening the door. So now, so I have a lot of people under me. And the reason I did few health and wellness challenge, but last time and this time I did it to really help my coaches that I'm training, because I have wonderful Jesus loving people who really want to make a difference, but who don't feel as confident or feel like they could put themselves out there, right? I said, let's do it. I will do this for you. You don't have to do this alone. We'll show up together and you go live. But this is not going to be just my thing. I don't want these people to see me as just someone who's running the challenge. They're going to see us teamwork together.
Yes.
Today, I just had somebody joining from England, but this is actually my free group that I opened up last year. It's almost about 200 people now, 187 now. But I have another private group, I've been serving very faithfully with people who are already signed up with me.
Hmm.
But God says, Sue, there are many more people that you post and you go serve these people who already signed up with you so faithfully. Like it's become a habit where if I don't post, like it's like something is missing, right?
Mhm.
So why don't you just pour on these people and just really enlarge? Because I have called you to get out of your comfort zone, which he has, because I was never into so much of social media. And if I post anything, few things here and there, but I have just putting myself out there. And I remember last year, either through the 414 challenge or one of the challenges with Pedro, he talked about you just gotta do it. You just gotta do it. And that's why I signed up for Crush It with challenges and signed up for Crush It with Mastermind. And I said, okay, Lord. And then before, my attitude was like, God, if you want me to help somebody, even with my parenting stuff, if you want me to help somebody, you're gonna bring them to me.
Yeah.
And I just wait, right? And I will be thankful for the clients who come and, sign up. But last year, like with all the things happening with COVID and everything, Sue, do you not see? Jesus did not just stay in heaven and pick out. And he said, hey, if you guys want to be saved, come over here. I'm here. I'm ready to save you. He did not do that.
Yeah.
He came to where people were. He came to us and met us where we are. He left his perfect heavenly home to
Good.
where we were, right? So God spoke to me in such a powerful way where I could not turn my back, right? So I'm still in process of putting myself out there, and to the point like seriously, who really cares what they think my motives are? Because God knows my heart, and I want to serve, whether it's through parenting, whether it's through health and wellness, health and wellness coaching. It's not just health and wellness coaching, because I talk about mindset, I talk about healed wounds, I talk about a lot of things, because I'm really about what God says. He wants us to prosper in our heart and our soul and spirit, mind, and body. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm still learning and practicing to put myself out there.
You're living it authentically, right? And you know that with network marketing, any kind of business we do, even challenges, a lot of times it's the teachers, the resourceful people that do the most successful. So I'm excited for you. We have to close because I have one more interview today. But Sue, what a blessing to meet you. I've always loved your heart, and I know that you're genuine in this, and that many lives will be impacted. So bless you on your challenge. The link will be in the post even of our interview, but tell people the link, or is it just your Facebook group?
I will link it again. It's a 7-day clean eating challenge. Challengers. Yeah.
So the link is probably in our post right now because I copied it from your other post. Excited. When do you start?
We actually started. Today's so day 6.
Oh.
So I'm going on Zoom with people who's going to be showing up. But
Oh.
it's going to be still open group where I'm going to be continuing to serve, so they can join us anytime.
Yes.
I'm doing all my challenges in there.
And the replays too. So bless you. What an honor to have you come on and share your story. You're an overcomer. I love that you have 4 young girls that are going to be world changers. Yes. And your ceiling will be their platform. I know it. God bless you, Sue, and your husband, and as you step into this new thing.
Thank you. God bless you and your family too, Stacy.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too. Love you all. Bye.
Bye, guys.